Hey there, thanks so much for purchasing this product, Clean Motion Toolkit. And before we get into the tutorial, I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for purchasing it, and thank you for going above and beyond with your clients, because I know making a purchase like this is on the attempt to, whether it's for a client or a personal brand, is to really take that production quality to the next level. And I truly hope that these templates will do that for you. And thanks so much for being willing to learn, to take some time and watch a tutorial and really learn how to use these templates in the best way. But then also to learn and to see how your creative mind can take these templates and use them and really push the boundaries of what you'd think is possible with Essential Graphics in Premiere Pro. My name is Christian Kudrowski. I'm a motion designer from the Minneapolis area, and I've been in the industry for about 6 years. I've got an amazing wife and a 6-month-old at home, so things are busy around here, and wanted to release this product here in 2024. Now, no matter when you're watching this, could be in a couple years or whatnot. Just thank you for purchasing. Just thanks for engaging with me in this. And this is a new thing for me, being on camera. I'd much rather be a voice than a face. I'd much rather just be a voice that helps you and helps clients. But I know this is a stretch for me, and hopefully it's a benefit for you and for this training and for this tutorial and for using these templates. And so a little bit of history about me. I've been in the industry for 6 years in the corporate and nonprofit world, both as an editor, as a motion designer, and I'm all self-taught, all YouTube taught actually. So you're watching these tutorials here on YouTube. YouTube is a great place to learn, and I'm sure you know that. But yeah, just things are being in this world, whether it's editing, whether it's motion design, a lot of things and a lot of skills can be taught on YouTube and can be self-taught. So because of that, I've kind of gone through my whole creative path or path in the creative industry, just being self-taught. And in 2022, things came to a head. I was moonlighting a bunch of projects in the off hours. And so my wife and I decided to start a business called Key Visuals. And we help clients utilize motion to achieve their business goals, whatever that looks like, whether that's a logo animation, whether it's an explainer video, whether it's creating branded motion graphics for other freelancers or filmmakers. We partner with companies to do work. We partner with churches, nonprofits, even other filmmakers, and freelancers like yourself, and editors. And so yeah, we've been doing that for the past 2 years. And if you want to follow the journey of where we're going or hear more about products, trainings, anything else like that might come on this channel, you can subscribe, hit the like button, ring the bell, do whatever YouTube asks you to do to stay connected. And if you want to follow more on other social platforms, follow us on Instagram and LinkedIn. You can bookmark our website, keyvisuals.com. If you want to see the most up-to-date work, thing that I update probably the most and keep current just as projects get completed, is Vimeo. So you can search us on Vimeo and find us there. So yeah, the heart for the product, I really want to touch on that real quick, is to do 3 things. I want to create a product that is something that's a creative workhorse for you as the editor. I know, being an editor myself for a number of years, it was always to try to find something that's going to impress the client, to really up the level of production of the film. And so I hope that this product specifically is a product that you'll go to. It's kind of a part of your desert island type of things. I mean, you might think about like texture packs or LUTs or different things that you use consistently on every project. I hope that this becomes something like that for you. The second thing is to empower you to make the creative decision for yourself. These templates are black and white templates, and they come simple because I want you to be able to envision how you're going to serve your client, how you're going to match their brand. Maybe it's a personal brand for yourself, and you're a video creator and an influencer. But just there's the flexibility is unmatched, I think, in these compared to some of the other templates that you might download. So really go hog wild and push the creativity on how you implement these and use these. And hopefully this tutorial and the second tutorial that I have for you will kind of show you a little bit of the back end of how they're built, but also how to use them in a way you might not have thought. The third thing is for freedom. And I hope that this template gives you freedom, one, from After Effects, two, just in how flexible the templates are so that you can use them and the only limitation is your creativity. And then three, that you have freedom in your time to get to that next edit or complete the project sooner, just to save you time and to give you more personal freedom to do the other things that your business needs to do. So these templates aren't meant to be the flashiest of templates or the trendiest. I'm going to leave that to some of the other big stock footage sites. But in using those big stock footage sites for other projects in the past, I've always ran into difficulties. There's always been something that I want different. There's always some limitation in the features or how the project file was set up, how the template's set up. And eventually something breaks. Text flies off the screen or it doesn't have scale properties, things like that. And you feel stuck and you feel like, oh, these templates, they look so cool when we download them, but are they really that functional? And I'm hoping that Clean Motion Toolkit is that for you, provides you a sense of safety, but also a sense that I can accomplish great things with this go-to creative workhorse. So enough of me rambling, let's get to the tutorial. Here I've got a blank Premiere template, which is a couple stock things that we'll use to kind of go through the templates and things that you've probably seen in the promo here. But I just wanted to show you and take a quick second how to install Mogerts and do it in an easy way. So if you're familiar at all with motion graphic templates, they live in the Essential Graphics window. So that's under Window, Essential Graphics. And click that, it brings up all the templates we have available. You might see some more stock ones that Adobe provides if you don't have a bunch of folders. But basically, you can either add in solo templates down here in this little plus sign install motion graphics template. What I like to do is I like to create a folder in my Finder, in my Documents folder, and you can link it through here. So we're actually going to add an additional folder. But first, let's go to a Mogerts folder. And I've actually already created one for CM Toolkit. And so I'm going to go over here to our templates as you download them from the site. And I'm going to copy these templates, all 12, into our CM Toolkit folder. And we're going to go find this folder in the menu here in a second. So if I go over here to the menu, you'll see some of the templates that I've already loaded in here are templates that exist over in that folder here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the plus sign. I'm going to go find our KVCM Toolkit, and you don't add individual templates, you add the folder. So if I click this, I'll click choose, it'll show up right here. And then if I only want to see that one, I'm going to click only on that one. And that way I can keep things pretty streamlined in the project. So you can kind of see here, all these templates have loaded in, and I'm going to use the power of magic to fast forward this as I drag these in. Okay, I've got all our templates loaded in, and if you've just opened up a sequence and loaded in these templates for the first time, you'll see that you might be in a 1920 by 1080 sequence. And what we can either do is we can either go to sequence, change that to 4K. I'm going to do that today here in a second. But if you want to keep it in 1920, what you can do is right click and press set to frame. And then you'll be able to see your template. I'm going to grab some stock to throw behind our template here so we can actually see what's going on. And but what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go to our sequence settings and change it to 4K so that we can keep things all together. And we'll scale up our footage here so it fits. Okay, so this first template is kind of our intro title template, and I'm gonna set this to scale size. Set to scale size. Oh, I'm having trouble talking today. I'll just drag in a new one. How about that? So the first one is kind of our title template. I'll just let that preview here. Simple title. And if we go over to our edit menu, Essential Graphics, we have 3 categories. And you'll see that in all the templates, there's a very similar flow to how this looks. We've got different features on each one, but we've got a formatting and animation grouping in each different template, as you'll see. And depending on what's in the template, we've got text, boxes, logos, boxes, things like that. And everything should be labeled so that's easy for you to find and to get through. So let's go back to our first template here and preview that. Okay, so we've got a wipe across. If we go into our text, we've got text and text subtitle. On every template, we've got enable features. So you can turn off and on titles and subtitles at will. We've got obviously source text, so we can put in a new piece of text. Here is a new title. And we've got full text property, font customization, everything like that. And there'll usually be a scale and a position feature so that you can actually independently move these things or format them how you want. Just wanted to make things really simple for you as the user to kind of get through these and to style them as you would and as your brand needs, as the brand you're working for needs. So we have title section, subtitle section, all the same features, tracking, scaling. Let's just show a little bit of the line spacing here. If you want to create a little bit more spacing in between your lines. And then there's a couple different ways we're doing text spacing on some of the slides, either between the titles and subtitles. If there is a template with 2 features, there's usually this text spacing feature that can help you format it how you want it. If you want some of these things to be formatted different, you could even go in here and change kind of the feature. If you want it to be at the top of the slide and wanted something at the bottom, there's just a lot of customization and flexibility on how to set things up. So I wanted the power to be in your hands in that regard. So into our background, we've got opacity, color, all this different stuff. Maybe we'll find like a blue that matches. That's kind of a cool look with the orange background. But you can also turn the background off and just use this as a text animator as well. It'll still have that wipe feature. So if you do turn that off, you might want to come down here to formatting and animation. Go into our animation, just do static. And then you'll still get the text feature, but you won't get the wipe, if that makes sense. So, and if we want to see kind of what that looks like, here, I'm going to back out. If we want to see what that looks like with let's get back to the color here. With the actual background enabled, it's perfect for if you want to come right into your title and you don't necessarily want to have the wipe in there. You could either turn that off, you'd still have the text animation, or what I like to do is I'll just put a cut here in the timeline, and then if I'm starting my element there, and then I'll still have the X animation at the end. So you can always cut up a motion graphic template as you want. Now, caveat on this, as you can see here, these templates don't have these little markers like the outro. Now, the 03 template, this word mark and logo template is the only one that has a hard set and non-responsive start and end. So that's why you get those little diamonds, little triangles there. But every other template in this pack has protected regions at the end so that you can come into each template, stretch it out to your heart's content, and really customize how long your animations are. So it's really convenient for you as a user to make these as short as you want, as long as you want. Each region that's protected is about 1 to 1.5 seconds. I wish Adobe put in a feature where it would show you in Premiere the protected region. You can only really see that in the After Effects file. So another great thing about the animation control for the text specifically is that on each animation, in each template, we've got these text position in and outs. So I made all the text animations very similar, and they're all done with text animators. Or actually, they're actually done with transform properties, so we can do it on both the shapes and the and the actual text. So what's great is that you can really create a custom kind of intro to your text just by using this X and Y field for the text position in and out. So if I wanted it to come from an angle, I could just make these the same value. And what's beautiful about it, so that's coming from the right, 100 pixels to the right from where the end point is. And then the Y point is 100 pixels from the bottom. So if you wanted it to be coming from the top, if you wanted it to be coming from the top right corner, you just put a negative sign here in front of there. And then it would back out and you'd have it coming down from the top corner. But what's beautiful about this is that they're kind of reversible. So this will exit down into the left. As you can kind of see here in the notes, we've got animation out has opposite values of the in. So just be aware of that as you're working on these templates. If you want it to exit the same way, I would put your template in how you want it and then put a cut. And then this becomes a new template and then switch this back to 100. And then it will exit out the same way it came in. So there's some customization and flexibility there that you could do. Or actually, what we should do, you probably wouldn't do that. If you wanted to come from there, you'd go -100, and you'd have to do the exact opposite values of what you had done in this previous version, so that it would come in from the left top or right top, and then it would exit to the right top. So a great way to kind of use these templates, and super flexible. Obviously, we've got, if we turn back on our wipe angle, here, I'm going to go grab a fresh template, because every time you kind of edit some of these things, you want to make sure you're using either the most recent version or the version that you've saved with the branding of your client or customer or whatnot, or grab a new version and start fresh. I want to go back to the wipe for a second. Full angle control on this wipe, as you can kind of see, you can set it at the, 4 corners. You've got 0 will be a wipe from top to bottom, 0, 90, 270, or 180, 270, 360. 360 and 0 would be the same, so that'd be kind of impractical. But that kind of gives you a full range. So you could wipe from the left if you want. And so how I see that is I just kind of go up to this wipe angle and I'll say, okay, I kind of want it to come in from a different side now. And kind of have that cross animation between the text title. So that's kind of a full set of the features. A couple things I put in that I like to use and I don't necessarily want to do in Premiere all the time is throwing on a posterized time or adding grain. I've just included some native grain from After Effects and an adjustment layer to help you control your frame rate if you like that low frame rate look. A little bit more playful, I would say, is the low frame rate. So adjust that to your heart's content. It'll go all the way up to, for 29.97 frames per second sequence, or down as low as you want, I think till 8. And after 8, it got a little unpractical. Adjust to your heart's content, and you got full control over different things. This is the group. A lot of the position and scale and the formatting and animation is a group move. So, that is template number 1. A lot of these templates are acting in the same way, and you can explore some of the different features that come with each template. But a lot of them carry the same characteristics. I just want to give you a couple things on this text box one. Any text box that you find in the templates is dynamic with the titling. So if I'm typing my name here, my name is shorter, and the text box is actually going to snap to the size of the longest text field. So the text boxes are responsive in that way. And so right now the insert a subtitle here section, which is my subtitle, is shorter. But the second I type in the rest of my name here into the source text, it's going to be longer. So if I back that out, I want to show you some of the ways we edit that and kind of control is it in this feature section of the text box. And wanted to give you some pre-padding features on the box and some post-padding. So these are pre-padding if we wanted to keep our text centered and add in more space around it. So that's kind of adding in padding after the calculation is made with the text. And then post padding will actually just change the size of our box horizontally and vertically, depending on what we have. But the caveat here is if we're putting in more text, the calculation is just going to keep happening. So the text box will automatically resize. So the hope with the text box and the dynamic text box setup is that your input or whatever you need to put into these text boxes makes it easy for you right off the bat. And if you need to do some micro adjustments, depending on the style or the need, you can come into this features section and have full customization flexibility. You can do stroke widths, colors. We can turn off this opacity. That way we can kind of have a more like stroke look, and we're aligning that stroke thickness with the thickness of our text. Round the corners as much as you want. If you like this pill-shaped thing, we can use the pre-padding to kind of help us form that, so we kind of start where the round starts to end. But yeah, complete flexibility with how you want to create your titles and style your video. All right, going to this, I wanted to highlight this outro section. Let's grab some more footage. And so this outro section is kind of a fun template. So I wanted to really highlight and show you how we have this set up. It being the non-responsive template, the only reason that's the case is because in some of the animation control we are using adjustment layers to do the scaling on the word mark and logo. And what's great about this template is it's a great way to end your video. And everyone knows you kind of go to a logo or a word mark and it kind of makes an impact off of your footage. So we've got the wipe in here. Let's tone it down kind of how we did the other one. And say we're kind of coming out on a drone shot or something like that. Or let's use some more appropriate footage. If we were in the corporate world, grab this business meeting. This is kind of like our closing shots of the film. We've got a word mark, maybe an inspirational word, but more likely for you guys, it'll be a logo or something like that. And what's beautiful about this template is that we've got that selection here. So if we want to put our logo in here, we're just going to drop our logo in. So if I'm going to I'll maybe grab a logo from, should we just use something like this? Yeah, let's grab this logo. And we can size the logo here. Kind of fit it into how we need. And obviously you can kind of see the logo's in a square, so this is probably more meant for a square logo. So let's drag in just a word mark of mine, or just my icon. And so we've got our logo in there. We're going to make sure it at least exists in here, but you'll be able to control this with the scale feature later. So if you want it to be a little bit smaller or whatnot, you can do that. So we replaced the logo. We're kind of using the position and scale tools to keep it the size that we want. Actually, for the sake of this, let's just use a white one. So we can scale that in and then to the size that we need. And right now it's just kind of a subtle scale down, and you can tell it's subtly scaling, but there's controls for that. So I wanted to show you what that would look like. So here in our formatting and animation, we've got 3 features. We got none. We have this is just a static logo here. And we've got scale down, and you'll see, as I scrub it, you'll see it's scaling, even though it's very subtle on the template. And then we've got scale up, so subtly scale up. What's beautiful is we got this scale speed. So if you want to increase this scale speed, do that to your heart's content. Can kind of help when it matches the scale intensity of the footage behind it. So we can go all the way up to 200, and if you want to go past 200, you're crazy. No, I think from the scale standpoint, 200 was a good endpoint for speed. So that'll be great for any logo animations you need to kind of happen. You can even drag in a logo animation into this logo section. So If your client has a logo animation, it doesn't have to be a picture. It can be an actual piece of footage. And a nice caveat to that is if you wanted to make a logo animation yourself or animate it in Premiere, you can make a sequence here and drag it into that logo replace logo section. So yeah, that is how we use that template. Okay, I wanted to show you one more template as we prepare to kind of close out the tutorial. This template here, which is our CM quote, is wanted to show you some of the different animation control you could have in some of these templates that I've provided. For this one, we've got a simple like text animation, but we also have a scale down animation depending on how you want to use it in your video. There is a feature that's scaling down the text and scaling down the shape, depending on if you're using different match cuts or if you're using scale animation within the effects controls on different clips. I love to use match cuts in motion design. It's really pleasant for the viewer, and so that you can use a lot of these templates in the same way. Specifically, this CM quote one and the CM panel has some of the same features with the scale in. And just to give you an example of what that looks like. So you can kind of use match cuts, or you can turn those features off, and you can like toggle your text opacity so that the text now has an opacity feature aligned with it, not just a text position move, but also opacity. And you can just change these to your heart's content. This is a static scale in, so you'd still have your text animation with the opacity, or you could just turn that off and it'll just appear. Again, want to thank you for your purchase of Clean Motion Toolkit, and thanks so much for going through this tutorial with me as we learn together. And I hope these templates are useful for you in your editing and take your projects to the next level. If you have any questions or comments, you can write below here on the YouTube channel, or you can send me an email at hello@keyedvisuals.com, and I'd be happy to answer any questions or just kind of ideate with you and help you use these in the best way that you can. Thanks.